Hello Magic the Gathering lovers, Matt here from Total MTG, and what have I got for you today? Well, you saw my top 1 mana standard cards, now you're going to see my top modern 1 mana cards, and there was so much choice from this. It was such a hard list, a bit different to the standard one. Standard one was pretty simple and there was a lot of cards that obviously stood out. Modern, there's a hell of a lot of cards that stand out. So if you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And of course, if you like the video at the end, hit that like button as well and share the video because it helps us grow and it really does support the channel for free. So without further ado, let's get to the top 1 CMC 1 mana cards in Modern. So coming in at number 10, this is a joint one because I didn't want to make 2 separate slots for this. It's Noble Hierarch and Birds of Paradise. Now there is a big difference in these 2 cards. Not really in what they do, but mainly in the price. The price is hideous between these 2 cards. Noble Hierarch has always been a really expensive card. Coming down to about $60 in paper now. Was as high as 80, I remember, at one point in its career as well. Really high. I mean, I don't personally see the great cost difference in them. Yes, it has exalted, but the fly, you know, Birds of Paradise can tap for any colour and can block flyers as well. Just for tapping for 3 colours having to be exalted, you're going to be paying a hell of a lot more money. Personally, I love Birds of Paradise. Shoot me down now. But Noble Hierarch, you know, that gets seen in so many great decks. Banned Spirits, Human, it's essential in those sort of decks in Modern. You can also see it in mid-range decks. Vanavar Pod, I've seen it in as well. It does get covered in a hell of a lot of decks, which is probably why the price is super high. But Noble Hierarch is still a great card. If you've got one big creature and you just kept attacking and you're going to exalt it and give it an extra +1/1 if it's attacking on its own. And it can tap for the green, the white and the blue. It's 0/1, can easily be dealt with a little bolt, but it's still a great card. And comes in with Birds of Paradise at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is Delvar of Secret. This is one of my favourite cards. Of course, it's seen in Grixis Delvar, Blue-Black Delvar, in a lot of, you know, it's in Pauper, it's a big card as well. Azorius, Stoneblade, you can see it in Legacy. So it comes in as originally as a 1/1, but at the beginning of your upkeep, you get to flip, show that first card. If it's an instant or sorcery, you can show it and flip it into the 3/2 insect flyer. For 1 mana, that is an amazing spell. And obviously in Delvar decks, it just fits perfectly. Very cheap in paper, under $2 as well for such a powerful card. Don't underestimate the power of Delvar as Secret. It's always seen a hell of a lot of play, and Grixis Delvar is an absolutely brilliant deck. This comes in at number 9. Coming in at number 8 is our first artifact. It's Aether Vial. What a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, you put charge counter on Aether Vial, then you can tap it and put a creature card with coveted mana cost equal to the number of counters on this. You just put it straight from your hand into play. This coming down turn 1 is so strong. This is used in Banned Spirits in Modern. It's a great way of cheating cards into play. Also used heavily in Humans as well. That is an amazing deck. Sometimes used in other stuff. Obviously Merfolk it's good in as well. Aether Vial comes in around $40 in paper, has been coming down a little bit, but is suddenly starting to make a little bit of rise up in the prices. So, you know, if you managed to pick them up when it was a little bit lower, well done to you. But Aether Vial for 1 mana is a hell of a strong card and can get some even more powerful creatures onto the board in the right deck. Aether Vial comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is one of my favourite cards. Yes, it's a blue card. It's Serum Visions. 1 mana sorcery, draw a card and scry 2. Be amazing if it was like that other special little blue card that would let you scry first, but it doesn't. It's still a 1 mana sorcery that is really strong. You get to draw a card and then scry 2, and scry is such a powerful mechanic. Manipulating your next draw is very strong. Comes in at around $3.50, so it's not, you know, it's not too of an expensive card because it has been around a while. Is it Phoenix decks? I love this card. It's played that in Modern. Grixis, Death Shadow, Ad Nauseam, Azorius Control, Storm. It's used in so many great Modern decks. Serum Vision is very powerful. I'm glad it's never been banned because I absolutely love it. And it comes in at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is our next artifact. It's Expedition Map. It's the card that makes Tron tick. A lot of people might say Ancient Stirrings, but this is what gets them their lands quick. If they haven't got natural Tron in hand as well, they can just go and get one of their Tron pieces. This is an absolute Tron staple. the ability of paying 2, sacrificing search your library for a land card. So it can be any land card. It doesn't, it's not necessarily have to be a Tron piece, but they use it as a Tron piece. When the Tron players open up with their tower, followed by that next expedition map, oh, your heart just sinks, because you know they've probably got the other land in hand and they're just going to get Tron. Turn 3, GG's normally, game over. They play a card and that's all that's meant to be. Expedition map is a very strong card. $3.50 in paper, a hell of a lot cheaper if you're playing it online, less than 5 cents, but still a cracking card and definitely makes the top 10 modern cards for 1 mana, and it comes in at number 6. Coming in at number 5, one of the best removals in the format, it's 1 mana, it's Path to Exile. This doesn't take any prisoners, it will get rid of anything. It's such a strong card. Obviously, the stipulation is that your opponent will get a basic land, but Path to Exile, I mean, it's just 1 mana, instant speed, white removal, super strong. Gets played in like any kind of control deck, will be played in Abzan, will be played in just so many decks that carry white and want a better removal. The best removal you can get in white will be Path to Exile. Very strong card, reprinted hell of a lot of times, comes in at number 5. So we're getting to the nitty gritty now, we're down to the top 4, and coming in at number 4 is Death's Shadow. This just had to be in there. It's a 1 mana 13/13, but gets -X where X is your life total. Obviously used, the most famous deck for this is probably Grixis Death Shadow in Modern. I've seen a few decks played called Blueless Shadow, which is not a bad, it's not bad, but Grixis Death Shadow is where it's at. They will play their bolts, they play their Thoughtseize, they play everything like that, get their life total down. Pummel these on the board, big creatures, and it's a 1 mana spell. It's just so strong, coming in around $17 in paper, played obviously in the Grixis Death Shadow deck. The whole deck is based around this card. It's so strong, I've been beaten by it many times, and it comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is the 1 mana sorcery that no one likes to see played against them turn 1. It is Thoughtseize. Target player reveals his or her hand, you choose a non-land card from it, that player discards that card and you lose 2 life. Losing 2 life is nothing. When you're playing this turn 1, you get to see what your opponent's playing, you get to potentially take away one of their really important cards, and you know what they're going to be playing potentially as well, which is really strong. This is using Grixis Death Shadow, it's using the Rock, Ad Nauseam, Jund. Affinity even use it, Hollow 1. This is used in so many decks because it's such a very strong card, which is why it's so high on the list. Grixis Death Shadow absolutely love this because they get to take away cards for your opponent, they get to lose their life, which obviously helps the Death Shadow as well. I just love this playing in control decks. I've used it in mono black, loads, Esper, everything I've used this card in. It is one amazing card, around $15, which is a very fair price for such a strong card, and comes in at number 3. So we are down to the last 2 cards, and coming in at number 2 is a card that everyone's been calling to be banned. It is Ancient Stirrings. It's pretty bad that potentially green have the best cantrip in Modern. This card, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a colourless card from one of them, put it in your hand, then put the rest in the bottom of your library. This is what Tron uses so well. They will play this, search for their top 5 cards. It's absolutely amazing. It's so strong. The best, obviously, cantrip should be in blue, of course, but it's not. It's actually green. It is so strong, and I can understand why a lot of people do want this banned. Expedition map is a call for me banned, but this one is the one that always sees, like, it makes everyone see red. They hate this card, unless you're a Tron player where you love it. Not very expensive card because obviously it's only uncommon, but it is only around $3. Like I said, Tron use it a lot. Hardened Scales Affinity will use it as well. I've seen Amulet Titan. There's lots of different, Lantern Control will use it. It's a very powerful effect for 1 mana, and obviously being green makes it, it's just a very strong card. Ancient Stirrings doesn't hit my number 1, but comes in at number 2. So coming in at number 1, I'm sure you've guessed what it is. If you haven't, what you're doing, you shouldn't be playing Modern. It is Lightning Bolt. This card is just an absolute staple in every type of deck involving Burn. Burn is one of the most played decks in Modern because not only for the price of the deck, it's a great starter deck to get into, and once you've basically made Modern Burn, you can practically play it in Pauper and Legacy as well, and of course Lightning Bolt is in all 3 of those decks. 1 mana instant speed, 3 damage, so strong. When you think about what we got in standard, we got Lightning Strike that obviously costs double that, which isn't too bad. Screw the Critics is one that's getting close to it, but the CMC is actually 3 of that, and you need to do damage first to get the same cost of Lightning Bolt. But even then, it's only sorcery speed, which tells you Lightning Bolt, 1 mana instant speed, is so strong. You can hit planeswalkers, creatures, opponents. It's just a great spell, and will forever see play in Modern, and makes Burn exactly what it is. Lightning Bolt is my #1 card for 1 mana in Modern. So that's my top 10 1 mana spells for Modern. If you haven't seen the standard one, there will be a link above. There's probably a little card that's been going across the video. Make sure you go and see that. If not, it'll be at the end of this video as well. I'm going to go through Pauper as well, and then I'm going to go through, 2 CMCs and 2 mana drops, everything like that, because I think this is a real fun list and get to see some cards that maybe some of you might not know about. The list for this might be in different order for some of you, so I really do appreciate if you put in the comments some cards that you missed out. There'll be a few in Modern because this one is very personal choice to me, and there's a lot of cards that could have made the list as well. So I'll be interested to know what you think are the best 1 mana spells in Modern. Anyway, boys and girls, thanks a lot for watching the video. The next video will be out on Sunday. Like I said, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button. It really helps the channel, and I'll see you on the next video.